Right, let's finish the story of Macbeth and let's have a look how this story ends. So, after Macbeth was having strange visions and seeing ghosts, this is how the story ends. So, from then on, both Macbeth and his queen began to suffer long, sleepless nights filled with hideous dreams. Macbeth's wife, who had been so bold and ruthless, began to feel that she would never wash the blood of guilt from her hands. So she kept washing her hands and washing her hands and washing her hands. Oh, there's still blood on my hands, there's still blood on my hands, and she started to really panic. Yet both were still obsessed with keeping the throne. Macbeth decided to return to the heath to seek out the witches and ask them what the future held. Macbeth set out across the heath on another night of thundering skies. He finally found the three witches in a cave, chanting over a cauldron of boiling hell broth. Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw, double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble, they cried. As Macbeth stood watching, three apparitions rose from the cauldron. The first was an armed head which warned Macbeth to beware of Macduff, the Thane of Fife. The second was a bloody child who told Macbeth that no man born of woman could harm him. The third was another child wearing a crown and holding a tree, who reassured Macbeth that he would never be vanquished until Great Birnam Wood came to Dunisane Hill, where Macbeth's castle stood. When Macbeth asked if Banquo's heirs would reign, the cauldron sank into the ground, and 8 ghostly kings passed by, followed by Banquo's ghost. The last king carried a mirror which showed many more kings, and Macbeth knew that they were Banquo's descendants. It was he, as if he had feared Banquo's son fleers, had escaped. So Macbeth's visit to the witches had done nothing to help him feel that his crown was safe. If anything, he felt more insecure than ever. So when he heard that Macduff had gone to England to join forces with Prince Malcolm, Macbeth ordered the death of Macduff's wife and children. A messenger carried the terrible news to Macduff in England. He was stunned. He heard words but could hardly believe the horror of such a deed. "All my pretty ones, did you say all?" he cried. "What, all my pretty chickens, and they damn at one fell swoop? Nothing would ever wipe out the desolation of such a loss. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief," said Malcolm. Now they were more determined than ever to reclaim the crown from such an unworthy king. So Macbeth has sent people to go and kill Macduff's family. Macduff and Malcolm have decided that that's not acceptable. Macduff, absolutely grief-stricken, has decided he wants revenge on Macbeth. This terrible murder of innocent children and their mother lost Macbeth many friends. He and his wife began to feel increasingly isolated, and their guilt grew. Though Queen Macbeth, as she now was, had the crown she had longed for, her life had become a living nightmare. She wandered the castle trying to wash away the blood of King Duncan from her hands and clothes, so she's still trying to get the blood off her hands. The blood that had long gone, but that blood still haunted her still. "Out, damn spots, out I say," she would cry, so she's trying to get rid of the spots of blood, but she just can't do it. She keeps seeing them. Nothing there, but she's just seeing those spots of blood. After days and nights of the Queen not sleeping or eating, her servant called the court doctor, but he had no medicines to ease a guilty mind. "Here's the smell of the blood still," cried the Queen, as the doctor and waiting woman looked on helplessly. "All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Ooh. Eventually, Lady Macbeth was unable to bear the ghastly visions any more, and she died. Macbeth now felt more hated and more alone than ever. His wife had been his guiding force, his partner in crime. She should have died, but hereafter, he groaned, there would have been time for such a word. Okay, we'll stop there. So Macbeth's wife has passed away, mainly through madness. She's just seeing these images and these blood splatters and things like that, and she just can't cope with that. Right, there's one final section that we're going to read tomorrow, and we'll start the lesson by finishing off the story. You possibly can work it out through our lesson today, so we'll finish that off tomorrow. Thank you.